Here in Clemson, South Carolina. We are just underway, one out in the top of the first between the Georgia Bulldogs and the Clemson Tigers. Billy Barlow making the start for Clemson, and this Georgia team coming off a 3-game sweep against Florida this last weekend, one of the hotter teams in the country. And Cole Tate, who's been hot behind the plate, or at the plate I should say, steps in for the Bulldogs.
And there's that really good heavy sinker that Barlow throws. That kind of ran in on the hands of Cole Tate. And I think for him to be successful against righties as he is lefties, he's going to have to throw that sinker in on the hands.
Bouncer to short. Benjamin Blackwell. Over to Briar Hawkins. 2 up, 2 down for the Dogs.
And Billy Barlow just did exactly just that, as we talked about earlier. I'm going to go ahead and say it now, 88-93 with his sinker. He's a slider slash slurve kind of guy. He's got to change up his breaking ball that he is developing, but the report is he's better against left-handed hitters, but that fastball right there against Cole Tate, the righty, in on his hands, if he can do that consistently, he's going to breeze through this lineup.
Cole Wagner steps in for the Dogs. That off-speed pitch finds the plate. A ball and a strike to Wagner. Coach Strickland talks about this being the oldest team he's ever coached at the college level, although you do sprinkle in some freshmen in there like Wagner.
Well, when you sandwich him in between the Tate brothers, you kind of get overlooked that he's just a true freshman out there.
You get a little bit of protection with Connor Tate hitting behind you. Ball and 2 strikes, and Wagner fights it off to stay alive. One-two pitch from Barlow. Wagner fouls it back.
One of the very few off-speed pitches that we're going to see from Barlow. I know he's thrown a few so far to Wagner, but that's a little kind of almost looked like a changeup down and away. If he can get that pitch working along with his 93-mile-an-hour sinker, he's going to have some success tonight.
Just missing on the outside corner. Appeal to third, no go. 2-2.
Not even close, huh?
Yeah, good check. Wagner to right field and deep to the wall and gone. So now they're turning to a guy in Hank Bearden who's making just his second start of the year.
Yeah, and his first start was actually a really good start. 3 2/3 innings, 4 strikeouts, and those are both career highs for him, his last appearance. So they're going to need this guy to step up and his opportunities that he has to really go out there and show something. He's a sinker slider guy, 87-90, and he's a pitch to contact guy. So we're not going to see a bunch of strikeouts. We're going to see a bunch of ground balls from both pitchers tonight.
Yeah, both pitchers don't really walk a lot of hitters, and good news for Bearden is he's ahead on the count to Benjamin Blackwell, 0-2. Blackwell lays off it low and outside. Swings through it, strikeout. Bearden off to a good start.
Off to a great start. Just as I say, we're not going to see many punch-outs from Bearden. He goes and makes some nasty pitches with his breaking ball. The 0-2 breaking ball was off the plate, about a foot or so. This one just barely off the plate to get Blackwell to swing at it. Pretty nasty breaking ball.
Now the lefty Cooper Ingle steps in. Hitting .392 on the year. Lays off outside. 1-0. Hits this one to right field and deep. Garrett Spice going back to the wall, and that's gone.
Well, Chris, is it safe to say the ball's traveling to right? Is there some like wind tunnel there that we don't know about? Because these guys are crushing the ball out there. And, you know, Cooper Engel, you mentioned how he's hitting .392. He tracks the ball so well. You saw the first pitch, watched it all the way in, and then this one, we were tracking that ball to right center field on a line. That got out in a hurry.
His 5th home run of the year. Caught a lot of the plate, DG.
It did. And, you know, Engel has such a short, compact swing. He gets the head out there, man. That ball just jumps.
Yeah, maybe it's the humidity in the air. I don't know. Remember when Atlanta, Fulton County Stadium was the launching pad? And that one is driven deep to left field. Gone to left field. Okay, so it's not just the wind tunnel to right field, because apparently it's affecting the left field wall as well.
Well, we featured him in the open, Blake Wright, the hottest hitter on this Clemson team, and he's not going to let Cooper Engel outdo him, I'm telling you. This guy, he is seeing the ball so well right now for Clemson, and he's just putting a charge in it, and I'm telling you, talk about barreling it up. That's a ball that's kind of on the inner third of the plate, not getting cheated right there.
Coach Lee said, I got to move him up. You know, he was 6th in the order, moving up to 3 in the order today, and obviously that was the right decision, giving Clemson the lead. Now Max Wagner, the third baseman, steps in. It's a fastball high.
You know, just a quick note, both these pitchers are sinker ball guys, and out of the 3 home runs, 2 of them have been on breaking balls. So they're kind of getting away from their bread and butter, maybe just early in the game trying to see what's working and get a feel for their pitches. Solo home runs aren't going to kill you, by the way, Chris, but you got to keep that ball down with that breaking ball like that.
Good pitch on the outside corner. Bearden battling back to even the count, 2-2.
It looked like he was on the pitch, right? Not on the swing.
That looked like the exact same location. Gonzalez doing a nice job of framing the first one and that one as well, but didn't get the call. It's full.
That one almost looked better, better than the first one.
Didn't get it, though. Payoff pitch. Got him on that pitch. So Bearden's 2 strikeouts have looked really impressive. Just take away the 2 long balls, and he's off to a great start.
Yeah, and this is locating his breaking ball in a much better spot, and especially 3-2. A lot of hitters aren't looking for this, but that's got some nice sharp break down and away. And maybe both these pitchers who are heavy fastball pitchers, maybe they're just pitching a little backwards so that they can use their sinker the second and third time around if they're still in the game.
Tyler Corbett comes in. Corbett a free swinger according to Coach Lee. Gives him some good speed on the base pass in that DH spot in the middle of the order, too. He can steal a base if he can get on. Shoots this one to the right side. Acton on the plate all the weeks. A lot of action here already. Top of the second, 2-1. Josh McAllister steps in, the third baseman. Had a foul ball in the field. Clean that up. Now ready to go. Hard-nosed player, McAllister. Flair for the dramatic. Barlow misses 1-1. I feel like we're going to see a lot of pitches in that location today, Danny.
Yeah, especially after that first inning on mistakes that just jump out of the yard there. You know, we got guys that are typically throwing sinker balls and getting ground balls, but they're breaking balls. They got to keep those down and away.
High in the air and foul. Hawkins over and makes the catch. One away. Hey, Sunday afternoon, we got a softball-baseball doubleheader for you. It starts in Tallahassee. Number 3, Florida State hosting number 5, Virginia Tech at noon. Then the 20th-ranked Seminole baseball team in Atlanta to take on Georgia Tech. Both games right here on the ACC Network and on the ESPN app. Mentioned Clemson's at Notre Dame this upcoming weekend. The Irish sweeping Florida State this past weekend. They're one of the hottest teams in the country to go along with these Bulldogs. Parks Harbor steps in for the Dogs. First baseman. Outside. That one catches the strike zone. A ball and a strike. Harbor's been a bit snake bit lately. Coach Strickland says, man, he's just been hitting the ball hard, just right at people. Looking to break out of that before the Dogs take on South Carolina this weekend. Up the middle for a base hit, that'll help.
It's funny because those little 17 hoppers that go up the middle are the ones that kind of get you back on track. And as you mentioned, he's been hitting the ball hard right at people. And this one, it's hit hard, but it's just a ground ball. So Barlow does what he's wanting to do, getting guys to hit it on the ground, just right back up the middle.
You know, when talking to Coach Lee about Clemson's struggles here over the last couple of weeks, he really made mention of the fact that they need to get off to good starts. I mean, they've been playing from behind so much, and the bullpen's been fine. It's just they get to the bullpen too early in games and when they're down. So here they've got a 2-1 lead in the second. You know, if you're a Clemson fan, play from ahead and give your starter Billy Barlow a chance to put a couple of innings under his belt.
Right, and this is a perfect opportunity for Barlow too, facing the bottom of the order with the lead in the second inning, and not many pitches under his belt so far. That pitch is nasty right there, Chris. I'm telling you, that's that bowling ball sinker. If he can command that side of the plate to a lefty, they're not going to touch it. They're not going to touch it at all. We know that he can go down and away to the lefties, but that inside to the lefty, can't touch it.
The ball and a strike to Garrett Spikes. Right fielder for the Dogs, outside, 2-1. Parks Harbor over at first base, not a threat to run. There's Monty Lee, head coach here at Clemson. These pitchers there, you talk about the innings pitched on the right, and those are the starts on the left. So, I mean, I know I went to Georgia Tech, but, Danny, I'm not a great math student here, not a great mathematician. Just, you can figure that one out, though. And Barlow gets a strikeout, his first of the day.
Well, yeah, there's that pitch inside to the lefty. They kind of just give up on it, and it comes right back over the plate. I know that math. Strike 3, he's out. So that's nasty. But you talk about the starters and what they've been able to really not do is get deep into the games. You know, they're not even averaging 5 innings a start, and that's tough when you have multiple guys doing that, because this bullpen is going to get wore out, and they've done a great job so far, but it's a long season. You can't tax that bullpen that much. Catcher
Fernando Gonzalez steps in As his counterpart on the other side, Jonathan French did a nice job in blocking that last pitch, keeping Harbor over at first out of scoring position. Inside, that was the issue with Barlow too, and we were talking to Coach Lee about having difficulty pitching to right-handed hitters, which you would think with that sinker, most sinker ball, the right-handed pitchers have it easier against right-handed hitters.
Well, to me, I think he's afraid because his ball moves so much, he might be afraid to go inside and hit a batter, hit the right-hand batter. Not that he's afraid to throw at somebody, but when he's trying to command something inside, he can't control it. But you see right there when he goes fastball away to a righty, I mean, that looks pretty good, right? Should be able to do it to both sides.
Outside, 3-1. Gonzalez got a pitch to hit. Drove it to center field, but Dylan Brewer camps underneath it. Makes the catch.
If you just went out and did it, you'd get in trouble. But if you're out there rolling the tarp, it's okay.
I actually did have a chance to do it when I was the Mets clubhouse reporter, but I was not a union employee, and everybody got upset at me, so that was a short-lived career. Yep, just looking to help out, and I obviously was not doing a very good job of it either. As we start this bottom of the second inning, Caden Grice. Caden Grice has had a hard time with strikeouts, trying to avoid that fade here, and he works the count 2-2 against Hank Beard.
Well, he's really had a hard time against anything except a fastball. And we've already seen Bearden throwing a bunch of off-speed pitches, some change-ups, and that's kind of what NC State did against him last weekend. Just fed him a bunch of off-speed pitches and got him to chase. He's a young guy. He had a great year as a freshman, but I think there's times that he's been so impatient, he's just trying to get something going.
Three-two pitch, and he lays off it and draws the leadoff walk.
That's a really good at-bat from Grice, and that's completely opposite of what he has been doing as of late. He's been so anxious and going up there just kind of swinging as soon as the pitcher releases the ball, but he took some off-speed pitches that were pretty close right there in the strike zone.
That'll bring up Briar Hawkins, the first baseman. High, ball one. We got some activity in the Bulldog pen. Michael Polk, the righty, warming up. Missing outside 2-0. There's Polk.
Come on, Hank. Get your ground ball. Here we go, middle. Go ahead. Going up, baby. Going up. Good way, Cole Tate. There you go.
Kingsmore's a cool stadium. Fans can stand right there on the railing. Did you like that, or would you have liked that or not like that when you were warming up, to have fans right there, especially in a visiting park?
They hated it. Even liked it. Didn't like it at our home park either, because everybody thinks you're supposed to give them a baseball. When you're trying to actually warm up with the baseball, everybody screams, "Give me a ball! Give me a ball!"
Trying to get some work done down there.
And when you're on the road, and especially in Philly, they're really screaming.
Oh yeah, not friendly words of "give me a baseball." And
no.
Hawkins thought he had a friendly pass, and nope, got to come back. Bearden with a reprieve in this at-bat. See what he can do here with the count 3-1. Throws over to first to keep Grice close. That's ball 4. So 2 walks in a row to start this bottom of the second. And that might light a fire under Polk to warm up even quicker. Here you see the walks drawn by both of these teams. Both very good at getting the free pass, earning the free pass, I should say.
Oh, I like that, earning the free pass.
It's an
Bryce
important
definitely
distinction.
earned his.
Right,
Yes.
yeah. And now if the bottom of the order can get something going here, DG, you can flip this thing over and have a big inning.
Yeah, I mean, first and second with nobody out. Will you bunt to get him over with the number 9 hitter coming up? I think there's an opportunity for that, especially with the grass being a little bit wet from this afternoon's downpour. Make the defense work a little bit.
Instead, French is hitting away, right?
Yeah, I say that too because you kind of want to stay out of the double play. You don't want to have that double play to kill this any kind of big inning here.
Low and outside, a ball and a strike to Jonathan French, the catcher for Clemson. Swings through that fastball down in the zone. Ball and 2 strikes. You saw Grice at second, Hawkins at first. French stays alive. Danny, what's the pitcher doing when he looks at his wrist? And I noticed with Clemson too, when Barlow was on the hill, he was looking at his belt buckle.
Yeah, it's that little electronic pitch caller, whatever you want to call it. That's when, especially with the man on second, that's when Coach Strickland really likes to use it, relaying the pitches into the pitcher so that you're not going through a plethora of signs and kind of wasting time in the ball game. And it was funny because he was saying he's not a big fan of it, but it's helped speed up the game, and that's kind of what you want.
All the signs that Gonzalez about to flash the pitcher to avoid him getting stolen from Caden Grice standing over there off second base. Just missing on that ball and 2 strike pitch, evening the count here to French.
And I'm going to be the Debbie Downer here with this, Chris, because what happens when somebody decides that they can figure out how to hack into that, right?
Some of these schools, for sure, someone's already working on that.
Yeah.
Beard missing inside, and he's laboring a bit here in the second. Already 2 walks to lead off the inning, and he's gone 3-2 here to French.
He's completely kind of lost a feel for his sinker right now. He's got a couple swings at him, but they're not as effective as they were in the first inning. I'd be shocked if he lets this guy get on base here with a walk. This might be his last hitter.
This being his 19th pitch of the inning. Nobody out. Nobody in yet either, so no damage is done just yet, but it's getting precarious. 3-2 here to French. Misses, and the ball gets away from Gonzalez. Runners will only be able to advance 1 base, and they are loaded.
Yeah, he didn't just miss right there. He missed badly. That ball was yanked down and away on a fastball. When you miss with a fastball that much, you got to think you just really don't have a feel of it.
Coach Strickland on his way to the mound. He'll make a change. Michael Polk comes in, the righty, and bases loaded here in the bottom half of the second inning, already down 2-1. We'll introduce you to Polk when we come back. Big Michael Polk, 6'3" junior out of Milton, Georgia, comes in for the Dogs. Right-hander set to face the number 9 hitter in this lineup. Dylan Brewer with the bases loaded. What do we know about Michael Polk, DG?
Well, Michael Polk, he's got a fastball that's 90 to 94, curveball and a changeup. He's been used in long relief and in short relief. He's got a really loose arm from what Coach Strickland says. His delivery is good arm speed and will come right after you. This is a guy, too, perfect guy to come in with men on base. Bases loaded this year. Guys are 0 for 2 off of him. They need a big pitch to get some outs here.
You know what's interesting? Then talking to Strickland, too, he said he hasn't been great in close games. You know, in later innings when he comes in, he's done much better when the game has been well at hand. Well, this is an opportunity for him to test his nerves. And you mentioned his numbers aren't bad with the bases loaded. A lot of times these coaches will use these midweek games as opportunities to test guys out in different positions. And obviously he's doing that here with Michael Polk.
We know Brewer runs well, so it'd be hard to double him up if he gets him to hit the ball on the ground.
Bases are jacked with Tigers. Brewer, the lefty, shift is on the infield. Third baseman McAllister's in a bit, just on the edge of the grass. He's staying in his typical spot with the bases loaded, but they've moved shortstop Cole Tate over to the right side. There you can see it. Big hole on that left side if Brewer can punch it through. Time called.
That's the thing with Coach Strickland. He said they'll shift on Brewer for sure because he's hit one ball to that side of the field all year long. So, I mean, you take your chances, but this is a situation I don't know about taking a chance here because bases loaded, you kind of want to have the guys in double play death possibly, or, you know, try to knock something down, but that's why he's in the dugout and I'm up here.
Polk gets ahead in the count. 0 balls and no strikes. Now it's 0-2. Blows his first 2 pitches right by him.
I mean, it almost looks like Brewer's trying to let the ball get deep so that he can punch it over there, but he's just a little too late on it.
Just missing outside. Looked like a similar location. This time Brewer lays off. Polk delivers low, 2-2. Nowhere to put him as Brewers work the count even. Polk way outside, counts full. Dogs have given up 4 grand slams this year. Clemson doesn't have one. So they might be due, even though Brewer, he's the number 9 hitter, but he does have 4 long balls on the year. Now the payoff pitch. Hits it to center field, high in the air. Left fielder coming in, that's Tate. Makes the catch. Runner tags, but doesn't go. So a big out from Michael Polk as he gets Brewer to fly out. No harm done. Now 1 out. Double play can get him out of the inning.
Yeah, Blackwell's another guy that runs well, that can get down the line, so it'd be tough to turn 2 on him for sure, but that was a big pitch right there. Start the guy 0-2, bases loaded, nobody out, then he works the count to 3-2, then gets him to fly out to short left. I was wondering if they were going to give it a shot there because we saw Connor Tate didn't really get behind that ball to make that throw in. Maybe with 1 out, but not with no outs.
Back to the top of the order, Benjamin Blackwell. Grad transfer from Dayton, takes high, ball 1. Blackwell 2 for 3 with the bases loaded, 9 ribbies on the season. Two balls and no strikes. Gonzalez did a nice job preventing a run from scoring, going down and getting this ball.
Yeah, and that ball, that's not an easy one to block either. But that's what he does. He's a great receiver back there. He's a great blocker, and he can throw really well. And of course, he's got times where he swings the bat well, but if you got a catcher like him, that's a huge plus.
Now 3-0.
You already mentioned how they walk a lot, Clemson. Well, both these teams do, but this inning alone, Clemson has seen a lot of pitches.
Polk comes with a strike on 3-0. It's 3-1. The 30th pitch of the inning for the Bulldogs, and Polk delivers. Strike 2.
Well, Polk has that effectively wild thing going right now. 0-2 to 3-2, and then a punch or a fly out. And he's gone 3-0 to now 3-2, and we'll see what the outcome is here.
Right field, foul.
I'm telling you, when he throws strikes, they're really good located fastballs, really good effective strikes. And when he throws balls, and they're kind of all over the place.
Bases loaded, 3-2 pitch to Blackwell. Polk delivers. Good at bat here from both the hitter and pitcher. Polk bouncing back, down 3-0, and now Blackwell's fighting to stay alive. 8th pitch of this at bat coming up. Up the middle. Could be 2. Over to short for 1. Back to first, and the Dogs get out of it. Clemson low fly ball, and then the twin killing. Still 2-1. Clemson on top as we head to the 3rd. A lot of noise from the Clemson Tigers in the bottom half of the 2nd, but the Dogs bared down and kept them off the scoreboard. 2-1 though still. Clemson on top as we head to the top half of the 3rd. Billy Barlow, long inning where he wasn't out there throwing. How tough is that for you, Danny, as a pitcher, when you're obviously your offense, you wanted to put some runs across the board, but when you're sitting for 30 minutes, 30 minutes, and then you got to go back out there after you've already warmed up and pitched a couple innings?
You know, I think it all depends on each guy specifically. I never like to do that, but, you know, some guys do. You get your 8 or whatever it is when you get back out there on the mound. Unless it's a rain delay, I really don't think there's a need to do it. But like I said, it's to each his own. It's, you know, whatever each particular guy feels is best for him.
Number 9 hitter in the order for the Dogs, Corey Acton, second baseman, steps in. Left side of the plate. Barlow deals a strike. Acton's Florida transfer. Coach Strickland said it was tough luck. He had tough luck as a hitter last weekend too, and disappointed he didn't get a hit against his former team, even though they swept him. I'm sure he took some solace in that.
He might have been the only guy from Georgia that didn't get a hit against Florida last weekend. Yeah. He was taking it easy on his old mates.
That's an interesting transfer right there from Florida to Georgia. It's not one you see every day.
No. I must say, though, so delightful to see Florida get swept at anything.
There you go. Hurricane. High in the air. Left center. Brewer coming over. Engel will make the call and make the catch. Thursday night, Got our next women's lacrosse matchup for you. Number 7 Duke and Blacksburg. They're going to take on Virginia Tech at Thompson Field. Our coverage is going to start at 7 o'clock Eastern right here on the ACC Network. And as always, you can check it out on that ESPN app as well. It turns out to be a pretty nice night here in Clemson.
You wouldn't even been able to tell that it rained, right?
I mean, you and I thought we were going to be in this thing for the long haul tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Rain delays, maybe not even get the game in. And I mean, Georgia fans, Clemson fans, they always circle this game on the calendar when they see it coming up. You and I did as well. You get an out-of-conference matchup like this, you revel in it. Back to the top of the order for Georgia. Ben Anderson steps in. Flew out to left field in the first to open the game. This kid's going to med school. You know, a lot of these players are here thinking about their futures in Major League Baseball, and he's taking the MCAT next fall. He's got bigger and better plans.
I mean, that's amazing. I don't even know what to say about that.
I can barely spell MCAT, much less take it. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I hear
no
you.
interest in anything like that.
No. Biochemistry graduate.
Yeah. Strickland describes him as a heady player, and obviously when you've got that kind of a brain above your shoulders, take strike 2 here, count even. Anderson fouls it down the left field line.
I'm sure if he had an opportunity to play professional baseball, though, he would do that first, right?
Yeah, I would. Ordinarily, I would say yes, but it takes so long to get through med school. How long do you want to push that off? Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe take the opportunity, but if it was a case where you were coming out after your 3rd year and maybe you were going to go back and get your undergraduate degree, then, yeah, take a chance and see how long you could play. And you can always go back and do that last year. But when you're talking about years and years on the docket ahead of you, I think you kind of might want to get right into that.
Yeah. That's probably the smarter decision.
Anderson does a nice job of laying off, and he worked that count. You talk about working a walk, he did just that. Now the Dogs have their leadoff batter on. Look back to last weekend when Georgia swept Florida. And like we said at the top, too, they're hurting in terms of their starting rotation right now. Their number 2 starter wasn't available last weekend. Numbers 3 and 4 out for the year. And they're hoping to get, Liam Sullivan back for South Carolina this upcoming weekend, but sweeping the Gators, really making a statement. Runner goes, throw down to second base, got him. Beautiful throw from Jonathan French, cuts down Anderson.
Well, and that's the first time Anderson's been thrown out all year. He was 5 for 5 in stolen bases before this, but that's such a quick release and nice, good, quick tag from Blake Wright there at second base. The tag is so important as well. You see Wright let that ball travel to him, so where he just slaps the tag down instead of reaching out for it and then trying to slap the tag down.
And now Barlow with a little rejuvenation, up 0-2 on Cole Tate with 2 outs and nobody on. Throws that one about 30 feet. Bounces over French's glove. 2-2.
Yeah, if he would have stopped that, dude, that would have been very impressive.
He would have had to have jumped up with full wingspan. Trying to knock that thing down. 1-2, my bad. That's one of those where the umpire just got to bail, too. Home plate umpire Billy Chambers does a nice job going down to block that one, although we have nobody on base anymore. Now the count's 2-2. Coach Scott Strickland's going to join us coming up on the other side. We get to the bottom of this inning, so looking forward to that. 2-2 to Tate. High in the air down the right side. That's going to find the seats. Barlow delivers once again. Tate bounces it over to first base. Hawkins will take it himself. And Barlow now 3 innings. Faced the minimum here in the third. His Tigers are up 2-1. Heading to the bottom of the third here at Doug Kingsmore. Clemson up 2-1, joined by Bulldog head coach Scott Strickland. And Scott, Michael Polk was a little all over the place, but he came in and shut the door. That was a pretty important half inning with the bases loaded and nobody out. Yeah, you get bases loaded and nobody out and 3-2 count and a lot of foul balls. And he's able to get that first hitter and then gets the double play ball. So it didn't look real good there for a second. You don't want to walk in a run in the second inning. But Michael cleaned that up and got us a little bit of momentum, I hope. Coach, so Bearden obviously didn't go as deep as you would have liked. Are you just going to leave Polk out there for a few innings, or is it just going to mix and match here? Well, I'm going to mix and match. I mean, we're not going to burn anybody too long today. We've got about 8 guys that are hot today. So Michael 1, maybe 2 more, but you might see 5 or 6 more guys today. All right, thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. We'll chat with you down the road. Thanks, guys. All right, Coach Scott Strickland and his Dogs. One of the hotter teams in the country coming into this game. You think about it when you sweep the Florida Gators, and I mean they're 22-6 overall, having taken 2 out of 3 from Mississippi State. You know, it's really, he talked about losing 2 out of 3 to Kentucky, and it was cold up there, and they had travel woes, and it was really a tough series. Probably seems a long time ago, but it was just a couple of weeks ago. They came back and beat Georgia Southern, and then you sweep Florida, and it's almost like, hey, it's springtime. It's eternal almost when you do that, even though it was only 2 weeks ago you lost 2 out of 3 to Kentucky. Last time at bat, Cooper Ingle took this pitch from Hank Bearden and left the yard in a hurry. Solo shot, first run of the game for Clemson. Now facing Michael Polk, who, as coach said, shut the door in the last half inning. Kind of got the sense from Coach Strickland that he doesn't want to have another sloppy inning like that. So many, all the walks and all the balls being thrown. He's grateful that they got out of that with no runs for sure. And now with Ingle leading off this third inning and the count 3-1, probably good we got off the horn with Coach Strickland, because the frustration might be boiling over if he puts him on. Instead, Ingle puts a charge into this one to straightaway center field. Back going Anderson at the wall, and he makes the catch right at the wall. That's an interesting, warning track back there. It's really just an elevated hill. It's a little bit of an incline, so it isn't the typical. You're wondering whether the humidity in the air was helping to keep these balls aloft. I don't even want to try to go into that kind of science. Line drive, base hit. Going for 2. Grass slowed it down a little bit, sliding into second easily with the double. That's so aggressive right there from Blake Wright. That's just a great job getting out of the box. And you mentioned that the grass out there slowed it down a little bit, but he's also probably thinking the grass is wet, so it's going to be tough to make a good accurate throw into second base. So why not? Why not go after it? Everything seems to be working right for Blake Wright. Well said, really is right now. A home run, a double, so you got runner on second base for the Tigers, and big old Max Wagner stepping in. He takes ball 1. Wagner leading this team, 7 home runs. Struck out swinging in the first. You mentioned these Clemson batters work walks too. Before the double from Wright, that was the 7th 3-ball count among the first 11 Clemson hitters.
Seen a lot of pitches out there for sure.
That's a strike.
Maybe a little premature here, Chris, but Blake Wright's on his way to being player of the week for sure. I mean, he's 8 for 14 in the series against NC State. He's 2 for 2 tonight. I mean, if my math serves correct, that's 10 for 16, right? That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Ball gets away from the catcher Gonzalez, and he heads over to third, and he'll slide in safely. So now he's at third with just 1 out. Again, aggressive, smart base running.
Yeah, and that's all because he got a great secondary lead, too. And as soon as he sees that ball get away from Gonzalez behind the plate, take off. That's a great jump right there.
And that oven mitt that he wears may have been just the difference, too.
Those oven mitts crack me up.
I mean, as a pitcher, you just can't like that. That gives too much of an advantage to the base runner.
Yeah, I mean, it's not part of their body, right? Oh, man, it's so funny. I love seeing that stuff.
I mean, that's a bang-bang play at third base. He probably slid in got in, 1 or 2 inches.
Yeah. I mean, that extra thread that's hanging off of it barely got him in there.
Fans like to see offense. Sorry about that, DG. Like to see runs scored. May get another one here. To the right side. Spikes will make the catch. But that'll bring home a run as Blake Wright scores easily. Clemson adds to their lead.
Just another good at-bat right there. Wagner was taking some pitches, fighting off some pitches, and got one up in the strike zone and was able just to put it out in the outfield and get another RBI for himself.
We'll talk to Coach Lee coming up in the next half inning. That's a good pitch against a right-handed hitter, Ty Corbett, inside for strike 1.
Yeah, that backup slider is impossible to hit.
Now on the outside of the plate, too far, 1-1. Again on the inside of the plate. Fans here don't like it, but might just want to stand back and admire it.
Well,
maybe they were right. Gonzo did a nice job of framing that, though, behind the plate. No chance in framing that one, 2-2.
Tell you, when he misses, man. there ain't no just off the corner.
Right. Maybe that's why he's getting the other calls, because they look so good compared to the misses. That one didn't do a whole lot of breaking, but it was too high for Corbett to do much with it. He shoots it foul down the left side. Time on the field. Got another baseball loose. Now we're ready to go. 2-2, 2 outs to Corbett. High bouncer to short. Tate Cox and we talked about that a little while ago, Danny. And once again, the electronic signals being sent in as Cole Wagner steps in for Georgia.
And about half the major league teams are going to start using those too this year.
Yeah, here's Wagner in the first inning.
You know, we saw 3 home runs from both teams in one inning span, and we just thought this was going to be a barn burner with some bombzillas, but not a whole lot since.
Yeah, a lot of walks since then, more than bombs, but Wagner, that was his 4th. Obviously, he's got it in him. Ball was flying out of here early. Shoots it down the left side. It'll get out of play. Wagner hanging in there, 0-2.
You know, Coach Lee talks about the volleyball that Blake Wright is seeing at the plate. It's not a good feeling when you're on the other side throwing volleyballs up there.
Look at that pitch.
Nasty.
Just completely handcuffed Cole Wagner.
Absolutely nasty right there. That's that fastball, that sinker that starts in and looks like it's going to hit him right in the hip and just comes right back over the plate a little bit, man. That young kids, we mentioned he's a true freshman. He's probably never seen a pitch like that in his short college career. So that's nasty right there from Brewer.
Now Connor Tate steps in. His numbers have been ridiculous. In SEC-only games, he leads the conference in hitting. Coming off a massive week last week where he hit .571. Drove in 6 runs. Flew out to right field in the first inning. There's a 9-game hitting streak coming into this game. Barlow bounces that one up there. 2 balls and no strikes. Barlow too far inside, 3-0. You don't want to make a mistake to this hitter.
Yeah, you also don't want to get free passes either, right? When you got a 2-run lead here.
Right. Keeps it low in the zone and gets a strike out of it.
You know, at this point in the game, obviously, 4th inning, he hadn't really pitched this deep into the game much, but this is a time where you got to trust your stuff. Trust your sinker, throw good sinkers down in the strike zone and get him to beat the ball into the ground. You know, that's a situation right there with Connor Tate. He's so big and strong. That fastball was in on his hands, but he's strong enough to muscle it out there. But as I mentioned, if you're able to get that sinker ball down in the zone, all they can do is beat it into the ground.
McAllister comes up now with 1 out. Tate over at first. French does a nice job blocking that one at the plate. As Barlow checks the runner at first. High. Now French wants time to talk things over with his pitcher. Has gotten a little bit of erratic here in this top of the 4th inning. Nobody warming up right now for Clemson, though, as Coach Lee's been happy with what he's seen so far, so giving Barlow a chance to settle in.
You know, as
sports tap
to,
from French.
We're talking about Michael Polk for Georgia, kind of when he misses, he misses. Well, Billy Barlow, when he misses, he's not missing by a whole lot. So that, to me, that's why Coach Monty Lee has not really gotten anybody up. He's not wild. He's just missing a little bit off the plate.
Soft toss over to first base just to keep Tate honest. High fouled back. That'll reach the seats. Two balls and a strike to the Georgia third baseman. Again, fouled it back. Frenchie won't be able to come up with that one either. Takes a high bounce into the stands. Nice play by that youngster with his glove. There he is. That's awesome.
I love the reactions.
Yeah. 2-2 the count. Straight up the middle, off the mound. Nice play. Got one at second, and they turn it. As they've shifted over for Caden Grice. Earned a walk in his first at-bat. In the second inning, was stranded. Good breaking ball, strike one. There's your shift. And how about that? Grice tries to go the other way and misses extra bases by just a handful of feet.
Listen, I wonder if that's going to change opinions on these shifts here. If big guys start to try to do that and shoot the ball the other way, I mean, if you're going to give it to them, why not, right?
Ball and 2 strikes to Grice. High, 2-2. Grice has struck out 48 times in 109 official at-bats on the season, which is why that walk he earned in the second was so big. And now this counts 2-2, and he lays off to work it full.
You know, these two at-bats, this game is completely opposite of the scouting report for Caden Grice the last couple weeks, or for the whole season for that matter. I mean, he's been over-anxious, swinging at a lot of pitches, and he's taken some pitches that are pretty close tonight.
That was a pretty nasty pitch, though. Wasn't expecting that beautiful breaking ball to find the strike zone, and it does, so Grice goes down looking.
Well, sometimes when they're that nasty, you can't hit them. You just take them and watch them and hope the umpire calls it a ball. But that is filthy. That's a filthy 3-2 breaking ball. He knew it. He knew it. Felt like he should have pulled the trigger.
Marsh gets off to a good start here in the 4th inning. Briar Hawkins also earned a walk in the second. 6, 7, and 8 hitters in this Clemson order all drew walks in a row in that second inning, and all 3 were left stranded after a double play to end it all. Put a 0 up there on the scoreboard. Marsh looks like he's got that breaking ball on right now, finding the strike zone with it.
He really does, and I love his tempo. He gets right back up there on the mound, looking for the sign and getting after it.
So we mentioned Buddy Floyd, the new third baseman for the Dogs. Josh McAllister moves over to short. And, you know, we've really talked about it all game long, Danny, how Cole Tate is suffering from that, that quad strain and maybe the humidity, and it's a little chilly out there tonight. Maybe that's tightened up a little bit, so McAllister moves from third to short, and you bring in Floyd at third. Just looping
Yeah, you
off
just
speed
hope that-
pitch, just misses.
You hope it's nothing serious. It's just precautionary taking him out. You know, they didn't have the normal batting practice and the normal stretch and routine that they typically have. And yeah, you mentioned it's cold outside. He maybe couldn't get loose, but it's also wet out there. So you definitely don't want to risk that with a leg injury.
Ball and a strike to French outside. For both these teams, really, there's no rest for the weary with schedules coming up. I mean, Georgia's immediately going to take on South Carolina this weekend. And speaking of cold, Clemson's on their way to South Bend. I was up there this past weekend driving through a snowstorm trying to get back to Chicago. You gotta be kidding me. April.
That's the Midwest for you, right?
Correct. That is that northern Indiana driving from South Bend to Chicago. Probably like that in July. French to center field coming on is Anderson, and he's going to make the catch.
Taylor, you've got to come set.
Dylan Brewer steps in, 0 for 1 on the night, flew to left field back in the second inning. He tries to keep this Clemson inning going.
Pop up, Taylor. Get the butt, pop up. Talk to him back. Get Taylor. Let's go. Open your mouth. Step up. Step up. Step up. Step up. Buddy.
Well, you can hear the coaches shouting to Chandler Marsh, DG, to step off in that situation. And we heard him before Brewer stepped into the box. They has to make sure he gets set, too, with Hawkins over on first base.
Yeah, and Brewer's a guy that they like to shift on, too. So with Buddy Floyd just coming in the game, I believe that's what that was, to make sure that he got over in a certain spot.
Right there, you see
Brewer
Floyd.
is that guy that pulls.
Right. There's your shift.
Yeah, I almost wanted to yell at Marsh myself when everybody's saying step off, and he wasn't stepping off.
No harm done if you step off either, so you might as well just get your bearings straight. High, 1-1.
Yeah. When in doubt, step off, right?
Right into the shift and played perfectly. That's why they shift on Brewer, because he's going to hit into it. Marsh comes in, induces the ground ball out. No runs across for Clemson as we head to the fifth. Tigers on top. Dogs coming up here at the top of the fifth, trailing 3-1. Talking to Coach Strickland earlier in the week, he said this is the oldest team he's really ever coached. And you see the breakdown as Parks Harbor steps in. He's sophomore. He's one of the babies on this team, but that's a reflection of COVID, DG. Sometimes you get these teams that you just have a lot of experience that's stuck around.
Yeah, and I think this experience is one of the reasons why they're playing so well this year with all the injuries that they've had. You mentioned earlier with their starting pitching taking a hit, but this veteran club is able to, help each other get through it and help each other stay on top. And it's absolutely helping these young guys at the plate, too, with so many veteran guys.
Harbor, 20 years old, out of Atlanta, Georgia. Went to Westminster High School. Ball and a strike.
It's amazing how they hold up.
With the milliseconds to make that decision. Harbor does a nice job. Barlow worked him inside. Parks, all he could do was foul it off. A ball and 2 strikes. Barlow back out there. Clemson starter now working his 5th inning. This is just what the doctor ordered for Monty Lee, isn't it?
Dude, you totally just read my mind.
Yeah.
Thinking the same thing.
I mean, Georgia with just one run on the board, getting a starter to stretch him out here into the 5th already. Got a big series on tap coming up this weekend in South Bend, so the more you can get out of Billy Barlow. And he talked about how they've just been playing from behind so often in later innings that no matter how well the bullpen pitches, it just hasn't been enough. And Barlow's given everybody an opportunity here tonight. Gets Harbor swinging there.
Yeah, he's been able to just move this fastball all around. You know, we know he's got great sink on his ball, but when he elevates right there, it's so hard to catch up to. I mean, he has definitely stepped up to the plate tonight and really took one for the team by getting this deep into the game.
Yeah, you see the starts by these Clemson pitchers and their innings pitched on the right. And if you do the math, it's not a whole lot of innings per start, but Barlow now a 5th and a 3rd, he doesn't show any signs, or 4 and a 3rd rather, he doesn't show any signs of slowing down. That was his 3rd strikeout, and other than the home run by Cole Wagner in the 1st inning, though, Georgia base runners even gotten past first base.
Yeah, and you look at the score sheet, there's guys, 3 more guys, well, 3 including Spikes, have only got 1 at-bat here in the 5th inning.
Shoots this one foul down the left field line. Barlow's longest outing of the season was 6 innings against Michigan State back on March 9th. Waste that one outside to Spikes. Ball and 2 strikes.
You know, the 3 hits that he's given up, obviously the home run was a missile, but he gave up a blooper to left to Connor Tate, and then Parks Harbor hit that ground ball back up the middle, so he's missing a lot of barrels.
Solid defense behind him as well tonight for the Tigers. Pull the string a little bit on that one, in on the inside corner. Gets Spike swinging. That's 2 strikeouts in a row now for Billy Barlow. He might be heating up as the game progresses.
Yeah, you know, 4 strikeouts on the night, and 3 of them are to lefties on that inner 3rd of the plate, and that's that 2-seamer that they really can't do anything with. The other 2 lefties took him for a 3rd strike, and Spikes, this lefty, tried to stay inside and foul it off, but just couldn't get to it.
Now the catcher, Fernando Gonzalez, steps in for the Dogs. High ball 1. Barlow has faced the minimum in his last 10 batters. Ball gets away from French. Spring football season rolls on. 6 more games on Saturday. We'll start with Boston College's Jay McGillis Memorial game at 11 Eastern. Then it's Clemson's orange and white scrimmage. Carolina's spring game at Kenan Stadium. Florida State's Garnet and Gold game is at 5. NC State at 7 in Raleigh, and then we cap off the day with the Pitt Gold Blue game at Heinz Field, where I will be. And like South Bend last week, it's probably going to be like 34 degrees in Pittsburgh. But I'm gonna love it, DG, because I'm going to be watching football.
Yeah, it'll probably be raining because if it's cold in Pittsburgh, it's raining.
And because I'm there, and weather has followed me everywhere I have gone this spring. I can't explain it.
It just happened.
Gonzalez thought he drew the walk. It's strike 1, though. Keaton Slovis, probably the new quarterback at Pitt. Good opportunity to see the former USC quarterback. Another strike. Now, this is the opposing catcher, too, who thought he had 2 balls in a row and a free pass. And home plate umpire Barry Chambers says, not so fast.
Yeah, you know, that ball did look like it's a little bit inside, but Gonzalez, being the catcher on the other side, he knows the strike zone from Barry Chambers, and he's called that pitch a few times.
Got him. Barlow battles back and strikes out the side. 5 innings, solid from the Clemson starter. Tigers still on top. Clemson leadoff man Benjamin Blackwell will lead things off for the Tigers here in the bottom half of the 5th inning, and there you see where he stands in the ACC in terms of on-base percentage. Clemson, they draw a lot of walks. We've already mentioned that. Look at this, 3 hitters in this lineup, over 500 on base, led by Blackwell, 3rd in the conference.
That's pretty insane, man. The amount of pitches this team as a whole that they see, and I know tonight's just a piece of that, but their overall stats, they find ways to get on base.
It's like a Billy Bean dream, Moneyball right there. Get on base. Marsh in for his 2nd inning of work for Georgia. Held Clemson scoreless in the 4th and gets ahead of Blackwell. Good eye by Blackwell, 1-1 the count.
Wonder if Gonzalez had any words for home plate umpire Barry Chambers when he went out there in between innings.
Just high, 2-1. Well, that's the thing, what do you think about that as a pitcher? Because, does the umpire think about that? Does Barry Chambers feel slighted in any way? And does that hurt your ability maybe to get that borderline call? That's not borderline.
But from what we've seen so far this at-bat, Chris, I think it has affected, because the pitch right before that, it was a high breaking ball, but it looked like it caught the strike zone. And, I can't speak for all umpires, but I know a lot of them have those good relationships with the catcher, and when you do something like that, kind of squeeze the plate a little bit.
Blackwell fists it out to Corey Acton, who makes the play. 1 away.
That probably didn't feel good on a cold night, that fastball in on the knuckles.
Blackwell's probably still numb. Now Cooper Ingle. Clemson's first run of the night, courtesy of his 1st inning home run. Georgia starter Hank Bearden gave up 2 home runs back-to-back in that 1st. Time called by Gonzalez. Now Marsh steps back in. Inside, ball 1. Good pitch.
That has got some serious, sharp, late break on it. That's clearly his best pitch.
Again finds that inside corner. That one is a little bit higher, similar location, and Ingle fights it off. Ingle has already improved on his .392 batting average coming into this game with a 1-for-2 night. By the way, his fly ball to center field wasn't exactly a little, softball out there. He nailed it. Sent Anderson all the way to the wall. Stays alive here.
Yeah, you almost wonder if Anderson doesn't get to that ball, does that have a chance to get out?
It's close,
it looked like it was pretty close.
There's a good look at the center fielder, Ben Anderson.
Dr. Anderson.
Yes, exactly. Future Dr. Anderson. Ingle's just battling up there. Oh, that hurt Gonzalez.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how much padding the catcher wears, it always seems to find him where he doesn't have any.
Yeah, and I've never seen a catcher
got him in the knee. That's, yeah.
Still right there on the top of the knee, even the shin guard's there. That still hurts, man. And there'll never be a catcher that will act like it hurts. They're going to play it off. I know that
right.
hurts.
It always hurts for like 1 second, and then the catcher is like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'd be laid out.
Oh, yeah.
Great pitch.
Calling for the stretcher.
Yeah. Marsh has gotten off to a good start here in this 5th inning. He's pitched, actually, last inning he was fantastic as well.
Yeah, Engel isn't a guy that strikes out a whole lot at all. Obviously this at-bat, he's fouled off some really good pitches, but that's that sharp late breaker down in the strike zone. Great pitch from Marsh.
It's a good matchup here. Marsh has been pitching so well. Righty-righty matchup against Blake Wright. Home run in the first, double and scored a run in the third. Marsh gets ahead.
So Marsh was staring at his electronic wristband for quite some time. What do you think that is? Maybe the pitch didn't come in, or was there possibly...
You can't shake off the wristband.
You can't. You definitely can't.
It's not like the Magic 8 Ball. When we were kids, it used to just shake and a different number, a different response would come up.
And it's not like you can act like you can't see the signs either and shake to throw something else. Maybe the Wi-Fi went out for a few seconds there at Doug Kingsmore Stadium. See, he's taking a long look again.
Right, one of the IT students, doctoral student.
Ben Anderson is doing something with it out there.
Doing his thesis on messing with opposing pitchers, and the wristband just misses on that pitch. 2-1 here to Blake Wright. This is definitely a hitter. You don't want to put anybody on, but you don't want to make a mistake as hot as this guy is. To the left side, Floyd on the hop, long throw, that bat.
Coach Lee mentioned that he's the guy that comes in to face the lefties.
Right.
And we got 3 out of 4 lefties, and Buddy Floyd's in the game. He's a switch hitter, so perfect opportunity for it here.
Right, just thinking that he's got lefty here with Acton, lefty with Anderson at the top, and then he'll face Cole Wagner, who hit a home run. That you saw it. It's on that left side in the first inning. Catches the strike zone high and inside. 2 balls and a strike.
I really wanted to see Barlow go back out there, though. I mean, Brewer. Really wanted Billy Brewer to go back out.
Yeah, Barlow.
Oh, Barlow, I'm sorry, yes.
Yeah, right. Acton high to right field. Grice squeezes. If this was the first inning, that'd have been gone.
Yeah, it would have.
Felt like the ball was just jumping out of here when this game first began, but sun goes down. Maybe the ionosphere cools a little bit.
Well, maybe the smoke
the
smoke has stopped smoking from the Cajun Cafe out there. So
correct, right. The smoker out there in the old school bus they've got out there in right field in the cheap seats. Great ballpark to watch a game if you ever get a chance to come. Whether your team is playing here or not, chance to see it. They know how to tailgate here, that's for sure. There you are.
And just another thing that I'm not happy about not being there, because when you're there, they bring food to you up in the press box.
Anderson sends this one over to Wagner, makes the play quickly. 2 outs here in the top half of the 6th. That's been a theme for me here this year. I mean, the Cajun Cafe here, you had the milkshakes in Miami. I saw all the fans with the famous milkshakes, and I got nothing.
Yeah.
Cajun Cafe, I want some of that.
Well, I can't remember what year I went there and did a game, and they sent frog legs up to the press box, and I'd never had frog legs. So that was the first.
Switch hitter Buddy Floyd from the left side as he faces Jeff Gilbert.
Maybe he's not switch hitting anymore.
Maybe not. I don't know whether he's just been concentrating on his defense, but he made a heck of a defensive play at third base to end the Clemson fifth inning to get us here to the sixth. 1-1 here to Gilbert. Gilbert blows that one right by Floyd.
That's just a good old high fastball right there, hard to catch up to. Do you know that Buddy's real name is not Buddy, it's Harrison. And his dad started calling him Little Buddy, and Buddy just stuck. Can you believe that?
I can believe that. Yes.
I love those little nicknames like that.
Buddy's from Covington, Georgia, just outside of Atlanta. Plays high school ball at Pope High School. A lot of these kids, both Clemson and Georgia, come from that part of Georgia. Atlanta suburbs, north side of town. Floyd's hanging in there. 2-2 the count. Two out, 2-2 the count. Swung right through it. Mentioned he leads his team in home runs with 7. To right field and deep. Spike's going back. He'll watch this one sail out. They'll put down the Frog's legs in the etouffee for a moment to give Max Wagner a round of applause out there in Cajun country.
Well, if your last name was Wagner, you're having a good day today, except the one on the mound. Max Wagner for Clemson right here. Opposite field pop. Did not get cheated on that one, but then Cole Wagner for Georgia's also got a home run.
First pitch jumps on it and sends a base hit to left field. Corbett with his first hit of the day. And Luke Wagner has been greeted rudely by this Clemson offense.
Well, yeah, well, we know Tyler Corbett, if there's a ball anywhere around the strike zone, he's swinging at it. And this ball just happened to be over the heart of the plate, and he barrels it up. There it is. You can almost smell it from here.
Oh my, the Gator. What else? What other kind of Cajun food is there?
All I was allowed to try.
Jambalaya.
I was only allowed to try the frog legs.
Caden Grice steps in for Clemson. And he's quickly down 0-2. Well, the book on him is everything off speed, isn't it?
Yeah, and when he has to face a lefty with a pretty good breaking ball, it really buckles him. He's trying to see something out over the plate, but he sees that ball coming right at him. But, you know, he has had a couple good at-bats. Even though his second at-bat he struck out, first at-bat he walked, he saw a lot of pitches and fought off some good pitches.
Looks like Wagner really comes from a little more of a side angle on that, too. In the dirt. Nice play by Gonzalez. Keep Corbett over there at first.
Yeah, those lefties, they throw from all different arm angles and cross their body. Looks like they're stepping towards first, and then they throw it to the plate. Of course, there's Gonzalez blocking another one.
This is outside. Grice has worked this count full.
They got third on the steal now. They got third on the steal.
Payoff pitch to Grice. Might get two. Over to second for one, and they weren't able to turn it. McAllister couldn't get it out of his glove. Probably wouldn't have gotten Grice anyways.
Yeah, I think that would have been tough to turn. That ball's kind of in the hole a little bit. Good pivot right there for sure, though, from Acton. But McAllister, remember, he started at third. I know he's played shortstop in the past, but Cole Tate, the normal shortstop, out of the game.
Cut down the lead runner, now one out with Grice over at first. Briar Hawkins, who's kind of emblematic of this Clemson offense in many ways. He's been on base twice without a hit, got a walk in the second, was hit by a pitch in the fourth. Good to see he's all right. Got hit in the wrist. Doesn't seem the worse for wear. Easy for me to say sitting in here. He's going to have to ice it down.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have any extra padding there. Might have put some extra purple tape around there, but didn't seem to bother him too much.
Ball and a strike. That's good off-speed pitch right there on the outside corner.
Yeah, that looks like it's a ball coming out of his hand and then just kind of catches the outer half of the plate.
Got him. High fastball.
I mean, that's some good pitching right there. Previous pitch, that nasty breaking ball away. So now you got the hitter looking away and just freezes him on that fastball in right at the belt.
So it'll be up to Jonathan French, the catcher, to keep this inning alive for Clemson. And Luke Wagner, after giving up the home run and single to his first two batters faced in this inning, has an opportunity to get out of it with not a great deal of damage done if he can get French. Runner goes, gets away from Gonzalez. Grice will have the bag stolen easily.
It was a good pitch to go on. First move from the lefty, and just breaking ball down in the dirt. Really not anything Gonzalez could have done with that. Definitely picked the right pitch to go on.
So Grice now in scoring position. Intentional walking French to get to Dylan Brewer, and the shift will certainly be on. Dire Straits on in the background as they complete the shift. You've really been impressed with the music here at Kingsmore Stadium. I know you appreciate the 80s fare.
I definitely do, and had a little Starship earlier. I mean, they had the organ playing. Oh, beautiful.
Brewer 0 for 2 at the bottom of this order. Let's see what he can do here. Sends it right into that shift again. Good speed down the line, but I wonder who was less comfortable in that play, Wagner bunting or Gilbert throwing it over to first base? I mean, Wagner, I don't think we see Wagner bunting very often. I might miss something, but
yeah, I wouldn't imagine that you're in the 3-hole to bunt. Down 3 runs, anyways.
I try to get on base, make something happen. Gilbert with a nice defensive play, though, when all is said and done, and got himself a quick out. 1-1 now, the count to Connor Tate. Base hit in the 4th inning, extending his hitting streak, now 10 games. Got a pitch to hit there. Sent it down the line and fair. He'll stand up at second base with a 1-out double. Georgia's got something going here in the 7th.
So now if Wagner gets that bunt down, right, it's a possible run or at least second and third. I'm just kidding. That's not, I wish he wouldn't have bunted. But
it's good thinking.
Yeah, well, Connor Tate, we know what he can do up there at the plate. I mean, that's just one of those balls down the line that as a pitcher you absolutely hate. But if it's on your team, it's for sure double right there.
Hey, you're not going to lead off an inning and hit a 3-run home run, so can't take anything away from Wagner for trying to get on base. That's what Georgia needs right now, and they got a base runner in Connor Tate. Josh McAllister, and now steps up.
You're so positive, Chris. I love it.
If this isn't so positive for Georgia net. This is the first at-bat of the night with a runner in scoring position, but they've got one now, so let's see if McAllister can take advantage of it. Good look at McAllister. Started the game at third base. Switched over to shortstop when Cole Tate left. Got fooled by the high cheese, didn't he?
Yeah, and you know, Coach Lee was talking about some of his pitchers being able to elevate that fastball, and it's really hard to catch up to, and it's hard to lay off of. That's what makes some of these guys so much more successful, being able to throw that effectively.
McAllister hanging in there. Again, Gilbert checking on that wristband that the Clemson pitchers use as a belt buckle. Cleaning the spikes. Had a ton of rain all day long today. If you live in the southeast, you live through it. But they did a great job getting this field ready to play, and we've been on time. McAllister sends this one to right field. Grice camped under it. Makes the catch. Gets it in quickly. Keeps Tate at second base. Now 2 outs, and it'll be up to Parks Harbor.
You know, there's a secret to having all that mud on your spikes when you're out there, especially on the mound. Maybe they do it, maybe they don't, but I know that in the past you used to spray PAM, the baking oil, Crisco oil stuff. Spray that on the bottom, and that stuff doesn't stick. I know it sounds crazy, but you ever try to cook with PAM? It doesn't stick to the pan.
No,
right?
But it did make your feet slippery on the rubber itself.
No, well,
I guess it's already slippery because
but you're not actually on the rubber, so you're right.
Yeah, you're on the front end of it. That's a good tip right there for you youngsters.
Try it.
Yeah.
Next time you're in spikes, Chris.
Yeah. Next time the kids go out there, then the folks go to cook the chicken that night for dinner. Where is the PAM? Junior brought it to the field with him earlier, and all the kids were spraying it on their shoes.
Because that guy on TV said that it keeps the mud off your spikes.
I guess people still use PAM to cook. Don't ask me.
Culinary
arts, certainly not a specialty for me. Brian Bennett, our statistician, says absolutely people are still cooking with PAM. All right.
Well, I'm sure they got some at the Cajun Cafe. Throw it out there on the mound for these guys.
They might be going straight up butter out there. kind of have a feeling that's what they're doing. 2-1 to Harbor. Got Tate at second base if he can get a 2-out hit to bring him home. Missing inside. That wasn't a bad pitch, and Harbor did well not to offer at it. Gilbert dealing 3-1. Harbor gets a hold of it to left field, and this is gone. That's Harbor's 5th of the year, and the Dog fans in attendance are happy to see it. Georgia's right back in it now, down just a run.
Well, these home runs tonight that we've seen are getting out in a hurry. I mean, this ball is scorched by Harbor.
No doubt about that one. Now Gilbert taking an extra long look at that. Yeah, that belt buckle of his. Pinch hitter for the Bulldogs. Corey Collins steps in. Two outs, lefty-lefty matchup. He takes strike one. Coach Strickland says he looks exactly like Ryan Klesko. Does, and he has a batting stance very similar to Klesko's, former Atlanta Brave.
He really does. Oh my gosh.
You know? Needs to get him going too. Says he's been in a little bit of a funk these last couple of weeks. They can get him going for the stretch run. Be a big bonus from that left side. Reaches out and gets this one shallow, right center. And it drops. They may have a chance to get him at second, but the throw gets away. Boy, that looked like it might have fooled Dylan Brewer a little bit out there in center field. Like he wasn't really quite sure how hard that ball was hit.
Yeah, that's interesting right there. I thought that hung up for quite some time. He must have just been playing back really deep and not able to get a good read on that.
Good throw, nails. Collins at second base. Couldn't quite deliver it, so Collins gets a pinch hit double. With 2 outs, Cheney Rogers now coming in to pinch run for him. And we're back to where we were a couple of batters ago, where a 2-out base hit scores another run. This time it would tie the game. Catcher Fernando Gonzalez steps in with a big-time opportunity. Cheney Rogers standing over at second. 0-1 pitch from Gilbert. Outside, 1-1. Caught the inside corner. Ball and 2 strikes to Gonzalez with 2 outs. Gonzalez has done well with runners in scoring position this season. Huge opportunity here in the 7th. French looks over to the dugout. Cheney Rogers at second, 2 outs. Got him. Big punch out by Jeffrey Gilbert, but not before. Parks Harbor puts a charge into this one. The 2-run shot gets Georgia closer. Will Pearson on the hill for Georgia as we get to the bottom of the 7th. Stretch those legs. We got a ball game here, folks. 4-3. Georgia, a couple of runs in the top half. Fans here excited to see it. Not deterred by the rain we had all day long. Cleared out just before we started tonight. And it's been a nice night for baseball, and they've been treated to a good game. Things really got interesting here in the top half of the 7th.
It usually happens that way, right? Late in ball games, those relievers, I'm telling you.
Big part of the story tonight. Georgia had to go to the pen early as their starter Hank Bearden lasted just an inning and 3 batters. And Pearson, the interesting thing we've seen, especially from these Georgia pitchers, I feel, Danny, is a lot of different arm slots. The ball's coming at these Clemson hitters from a lot of different angles tonight. Leadoff hitter Benjamin Blackwell off balance a little bit on that first pitch.
Yeah, and Pearson's definitely got the most 3/4 slot out of any of the righties that we've seen tonight, and he's got some nasty sink with that ball. And it's not just that run, that lateral run, it's the ball sinking down and into righty.
Chaney Rogers stayed in the game. He pinch ran in that top half of the 7th, staying in right field. Count 0-2 quickly on Blackwell. Inside. Now outside, Blackwell working to even the count at 2 apiece. Blackwell's just 0 for 3 on the night, looking for his first base hit. Looking to reach base for the first time. And he'll do it in this at-bat. Sends a base hit straight up the middle. Clemson once again with their leadoff hitter on base.
Blackwell did a good job working the count here, as he always does. Seen a lot of pitches and finally got him a little breaking ball that stayed up in the strike zone and hit it right back up the middle. But with Pearson, that's what he does. He gives up a lot of hits, but he doesn't give up a lot of runs. He's a guy that pitches to contact and can easily get opponents to hit the ball into the ground.
10-game hitting streak alive for Blackwell as Engel steps in. Hit the ball hard his first 2 at-bats. Solo shot in the first inning. Flew out to the wall and straightaway center before striking out in the 5th. Inside. Hot shot toward left. Foul. Ball and 2 strikes.
I'm telling you, watching the bats from Engel tonight, man, he literally hits the ball where it's pitched. He handles the bat so well. He doesn't have just one swing. I'm up there swinging and hacking. He's letting him get deep, or he's, getting his hands out. I mean, he's really a really good hitter. Obviously, he's hitting 390 something, right?
Yeah, 392 coming in. His 5th home run of the year back in the 1st. Second on this team in runs driven in, so Pearson 2-2 pitch. Chopper up the middle. That could be 2. Nope. Engel runs just too well as Acton tried to quickly get it over to first. I think Engel probably would have ran that out anyway. Coach Lee out. I don't know whether he's arguing whether Acton stepped on second base or not before throwing it over to Parks Harbor. Our umpiring crew will review that last play. Call on the field was out at second base. Let's see what Acton does here. I think he got it.
Yeah, he almost twisted his ankle. Stepping on the edge of the base.
I stand corrected to a better throw, and a great play by Parks Harbor. Scooping that would have been a double play. Not to be. I think you're right. I think he got his foot on the front of the bag before he released the throw.
Yeah, did his foot slip off the base? Is that, or he just misjudged it?
Here,
I mean, he clearly hit the base, right?
Yeah, his toe curls up. You can see that on his right foot, so he hit the bag. The way he did push off the bag, though, toward third base, man, that is a tough throw to make, isn't it? Definitely got the bag.
Yeah, tough throw to make. I mean, as basic as it sounds, it's
right.
You got to get your shoulders around. You got to get your body turned a little bit to make a more accurate throw.
He maybe had a little more, maybe a little more time than he thought.
Yeah, you're right.
Either way, he did a nice job cutting down the lead runner. Home plate umpire Barry Chambers confirms the call on the field, out at second base. So Engel will be at first. On a fielder's choice. Man of the hour, Blake Wright steps up. Home run in the first. Double scored a run in the third. Made a great play in the top of the fourth defensively before grounding out to third base in the fifth. First pitch swinging, fouls it back. This could be 2. This time Acton has the accurate throw. Interesting shot of the moon. Then we still had the smoke from the smoker coming from the Cajun country in right field, even in front of the moon. You just can't escape it tonight unless you're hungry like we are, and then we're escaping it big time.
Yeah.
A glove issue here with Jonathan French. We start the top half of the 8th inning. French has had a good night behind the plate defensively. Both of these catchers, they've had to work hard, both of them.
Yeah, you got to love to see that. The guys getting after it, blocking a bunch of balls. Those are the guys that you don't care what they do offensively. They just handle the pitching staff behind the plate.
Gets a new glove. Now, will he get an opportunity to take a few warm-up pitches with that glove?
That is a very good question.
He may just have to jump right in. I'm assuming that's just his glove, and it's a backup, and he's got it all worked in and ready to go. Yep, here we go. Ball and a strike. It's Corey Acton.
Oh, works great.
Yep. Outside 2-0. Missing, and that is just what Georgia needs right now to get base runners and get the leadoff man on as we flip the order up to the top. Would be perfect for the Dogs here in the 8th. Billy Barlow, the starter for Clemson, worked 5. Jeffrey Gilbert's in his 3rd inning of work here for the Tigers. and deals a strike. Acton hits it down the left field line, foul and out of play. Sends the kids scurrying. So now the count's full. Payoff pitch from Gilbert. Again down the left field line, and again foul. Keeping the kids busy over there.
Wow, Acton got out of the box like that was going to be down the line, but that was like 100 feet foul. Maybe he wanted to chase those kids too. I don't know.
Can't knock the hustle.
That's what the waxing crescent moon does to you, man. Makes you get out there and get after it.
All kinds of strange weather patterns, I guess. Maybe he thought it was going to blow back fair. 3-2 again. High, and Acton earns himself a leadoff walk. Georgia's got the tying run on first base. And Ben Anderson stepping up, among the leaders in on-base percentage for the SEC. He's 0 for 2, drew a walk in the third.
That said somebody had a 616 on-base percentage? Somebody from South Carolina, I believe.
Yes.
That's what it said.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
That doesn't even make sense.
Doesn't even compute to you.
No, no. That's unbelievable, man. Good for him.
Good pitch on the outside corner. Dogs had 4 base runners in the first 5 innings. They got 4 base runners in their last 6 hitters. Yeah, the Shara for Auburn.
Auburn, there you go. Yeah, 616. How about that?
That's a pretty good year.
Just when you think Dr. Anderson is having a great year on base percentage-wise. 100 points less. Dude, I'm amazed. I'm amazed by that.
What a slouch Anderson is.
Yeah.
only getting on base 500% of the 500 half the time.
He's studying too much.
Tremendous slouch. He's a tremendous slouch. Check third base. No waste is Craig Barron, our third base umpire. Anderson once again now working this count. 2-2. No, didn't go.
Not even close.
Nice play by French again with that new glove behind the plate. Keep the tying run at first base. Now 2-2. Anderson lifts it to left field. Engel comes over to make the play and chases Acton back to first base. There may be some wind up there. And we saw it with Dylan Brewer in center field in the last inning. Fly ball fooled him a little bit, and even Engel there. They obviously know how the ball comes off the bats and how it looks in this ballpark, but I don't know, maybe not so much, but it looked like he was circling under it. A little bit of a different angle. Just an out.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's a catcher playing left field. The guy rakes, so you got to find somewhere for him to play. Maybe he's just not used to seeing many balls out there this time of night.
Buddy Floyd steps in, takes strike one.
Come on, one.
Floyd came in as a defensive replacement at third base after Cole Tate left and McAllister moved over to short. Right up the middle. Nice play to get the lead runner. They'll never turn two, but Wright again makes a nice defensive play. Look at Wright's uniform.
I'm sure it's like that every single game.
It's all mud. He has been all over the place tonight.
Well, coming into this game, one error all year long, and I mean, you can see the range that he has.
And a smart play by Blackwell here to get to the bag once he realized he couldn't make the play.
Yeah. Well, Blackwell, he's got baseball IQ too. I mean, this middle infield is really good.
Now Cole Wagner, big home run in the first inning. He offered at it.
Oh, yeah. For sure went, right?
Yeah, just too far on that. This time Gilbert finds the outside corner. Georgia put the leadoff man on in the form of Corey Acton, and now Gilbert's one strike away from getting out of the jam here in the eighth. Low it inside. French takes a look over at first base. Floyd isn't going anywhere. Now with this big stick up. Pounds it into the dirt. His team leading eighth of the year. Boy, Wagner took a big swing on that one. Missed on the fastball, 0-1.
Gowan has that reliever look. The long hair, the stash.
What was that warning for there, Danny?
Must have been the pitch clock, right?
Yeah. Yeah, pitch clock.
Pitch clock from here, but you got to get up there and get your sign and get the pitch going.
You know, we compared Corey Collins to Ryan Klesko earlier, and I was about ready to compare Jack Gowan to Al Hrabosky a little bit. Hrabosky would have never done well with a pitch clock. Fired himself up on the other end of the mound, slapping his glove.
The Mad Hungarian.
Correct. Gowan ahead here on Wagner, a ball and 2 strikes. Wagner just pounds that one foul. Hey, Sunday afternoon, got a softball-baseball doubleheader. Starts in Tallahassee. Number 3 Florida State hosting number 5 Virginia Tech at noon Eastern. Then 20th-ranked Florida State in Atlanta to take on Georgia Tech. And our baseball game of that doubleheader. Both games right here on the ACC Network and on the ESPN app. 2-2 pitch. Got him.
You know what, Chris? That fastball, it's only reading 90-91, but it looks so much harder coming out of his hand. And that's a very well-located fastball, especially after the 72-mile-an-hour breaking ball that he threw the previous pitch.
Just froze Wagner. Now Tyler Corbett had a base hit his last at-bat. First pitch swinging. That's no surprise. Let's see if Gowan deals with a fastball here. If Corbett swings, he does, but it's an off-speed pitch, and he had no chance. Gowan's working the low end of that strike zone, isn't he?
Yeah, and he typically has that ball up in the strike zone, and it has that appearance of rising a little bit.
Corbett fouls it back, a ball and 2 strikes.
When he finished game 2 last weekend against the Gators, he finished it with a punch out, and the ball was just jumping out of his hand, elevated about belt high and up that whole inning, and just blowing it by guys.
Well, cue shot. Right back to Gowan. Over to Harbor, 2 away.
See, there's the step and throw that I was talking about before. Instead of the running it over and just kind of underhand toss it, you get it, you step, and you throw. Gowan, he's a pro right there, dude.
2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 8th. And now Caden Grice steps up. And looping breaking ball finds the outside corner. Grice takes strike 1. Fouled back quickly, 0-2. Gowan deals 0-2, wastes one outside. Grice doesn't offer at it.
Well, Gonzalez wanted that ball up. He wanted the elevated fastball up. But sometimes as a pitcher, you try to get it up there and you try to overthrow. Next thing you know, it just kind of turns into a gravity ball. Just kind of dies away. See if he'll go with the breaking ball now.
He does, and he gets Grice swinging. Big inning for Jack Gowan. Look at this pitch.
Unbelievable breaking ball right there. The spin on that is ridiculous. Better than Major League spin rate.
Spring football season rolls on. 6 more games Saturday. We start with Boston College at 11 a.m. Then it's Clemson's orange and white scrimmage, followed by North Carolina at Keenan. Florida State's Garnet and Gold game is at 5. NC State at 7. And then we cap off the day with Pitt and their blue and gold game at Heinz Field. All those games on the ACC network Saturday and on the ESPN app. New pitcher in for Clemson, another lefty. This time it's Ryan Ammons looking to close things out for the Tigers.
And he has been the guy that has been their closer. You see he's got 4 saves on the season. He's got this fastball that doesn't really look like it's coming in hard, but it's so hard to catch up to. He's very deceptive.
J.D. Brock, a defensive replacement in center field as well for the Tigers. And Ammons misses on his first pitch. There's Brock. Dangerous hitter, too, in Connor Tate. Tate fouls it down the left field line. Tate with a single in the 4th, double in the 7th, scored a run. Tate, McAllister, and Harbor, your first 3 batters in this inning. Dangerous. Into the shift. Nice play to come over and make the play first off by Hawkins at first, and then by Ammons to cover.
I'm telling you, those pitchers are athletes out there, Chris. Getting over, you heard Jonathan French behind the plate screaming at him to get over, and that's a perfect throw. Catching it on the run, tagging the base. And to get a pretty decent runner getting down the line.
Got to be a lonely feeling for first baseman Briar Hawkins over there in that shift. You better make that play. There's no second baseman backing you up this time. And to your point, you got somebody who can move down the line. Good play for the Tigers to start this inning to get that first out. And a very dangerous hitter in Connor Tate. Now Josh McAllister steps in, 0 for 3 on the night. Foul down the right side and out of play.
Got the shift going here again on Josh McAllister. Briar Hawkins feeling all by himself over there at first. He just had to run a long way to try to get that one.
Time called. High 92 miles an hour. Ammons can bring it 93, 94. Coach Lee said that's the biggest difference between he and Gilbert, who we saw in the last 3 innings. The other lefties, Ammons will bring that heat a little bit more often. Did it again on the outside. McAllister fights it off.
He's kind of Randy Myers-ish, you know, with his delivery. Falling off the side of the mound a little bit.
Right.
Just going right at.
At bat to get Georgia to within a run. Can he double it up? First pitch swinging high down the right field side. Just missing the play was Hawkins. Missed it by about an inch to end the game. Shades of the College World Series a couple of years ago. Just off the tip of his glove.
Yeah.
Just can't believe he couldn't squeeze it.
I don't even want to say anything right now, Chris.
Right, I know. I know. I almost said something. I just want to we'll just keep playing.
Yeah, let's just keep playing.
It's 0-1. It's 0 balls and a strike. That's all it is.
Yep, 2 outs. It was funny seeing Blake Wright over there kind of jumping up in the air, almost thinking, gosh, why don't you just get a bigger glove? You should have caught that.
Strike 2.
Unhittable right there.
Harbor is now down to his last strike. And the Dogs are down to their last strike. Can Ammons shut the door and pick up his 5th save of the day, or the year rather? Barlow, the starter, is in line for the W. Outstanding performance from him, 5 innings. Ground ball to short. Blackwell up and throwing.